Cases for the Pixel 4 XL. Let's have a look. Dave Taylor here with my Google Pixel 4 XL in orange, right? Oh, so orange, actually. And it's a great phone. I really like it. But like every phone, it really needs a case. In this case, in this instance, it's a particularly important issue because the entire assembly of the camera system actually extends ever so slightly from the back. So if I drop my phone like this, it's that taking the impact. Not good. Now, obviously, you also have the issue of if you drop it on the front, then the entire screen takes the impact. So a case is going to alleviate all of that and give you a lot more protection and make this thing last a lot longer. So I have two very different kinds of cases I'm looking at. The first one is this. This is the Speck Presidio Pro. Speck has been making really solid cases for a mighty long time. I'm going to go ahead and put the phone in the case. It's certainly easy enough. And let me tell you just a little bit about this case is that it's a dual layer slim protective case with, interestingly, an antimicrobial coating. So a year from now, if we look at our case under a scanning electron microscope, it's going to be a lot less scary than it would be with other cases. Is that an important issue to you? Well, you'll have to decide for yourself, but it's certainly an interesting choice. Now, it also has 10-foot drop protection with Impactium cushioning. Impactium, I don't know what that is. I'm pretty sure they made that up, but still, it's the only phone case with Impactium. What this actually means is that there's rubber on the corners and such. So that's actually the rubber taking that impact. I look at four things on one of these phone cases. I look at the bezel, I look at the cut and finish, I look at whether it supports Google Assistant squeeze, and I look at whether it works with wireless charging. So we can start with wireless charging, and of course it works with wireless charging. This is the Google Pixel Wireless Qi charging stand. It's very nice. It charges your Pixel super fast. Probably that's the one you want if you're going to get a stand. In terms of the squeeze, watch the bottom of the phone. Right, so you can see when I'm squeezing it, I'm actually getting Google Assistant to wake up. So that works perfectly fine with the case on, which is important. I don't know how many people use that feature, but you certainly don't want to disable that with your case. Third one is the bezel, and they really nailed this. I got to say, Speck has exactly the height of bezel that I like. It's high enough above the screen surface that it's taking all the impact on a drop, but it's low enough that the hand feel and everything is terrific. It doesn't feel like your phone's deep under, inside a huge case. Really good. And in terms of fit and finish, well, you can see here's a close-up of the camera that's exactly perfectly fit. And then here's a close-up of the very bottom holes and speaker vents and such. And again, they did a really nice job, and it's a nice big opening for your charging cable if you're not going to go wireless. So everything about this I really like. The Presidio Pro, unfortunately, it only comes in black. It certainly seems like they could offer this in a wide range of colors, including possibly oh so orange, but not yet. Right now, it's just in black, but this is a solid option at a decent price. We'll get back to price in a second. Now, the second case I got is from a very different company, and they definitely have their sort of military heritage very much front and center. There's pictures of people in the military doing various adventure things, maybe adventure is the wrong word, doing various dangerous things as part of their military service. And in the front is a sort of brass sculpture with an American flag. It's all very patriotic, but is the case any good? So this is from a company called Schnail, and I had no idea who they were until they sort of popped up on Twitter and asked me to check out one of their cases, and their cases are actually pretty cool. So it's a two-piece case with a big clear surface for the back. The front does not have any sort of screen protector, but that's okay. So on the back, you can see you get this nice touch of color, but strangely, on the front, there's no color to match. Whatever. So let's see, this is a military grade metal frame, and that's kind of interesting too, that there's a metal frame inside of here that's made out of anodized aluminum. You can't even really see it. I guess that's this part. And so maybe you can see it. And it also has the clear polycarbonate, and then there's a soft rubber part, and then there's this. which leads to the challenge: can you put your phone in the case properly? So the way to do this is to sort of match the cutouts on the sides on the top part, and then you fit that into the bottom. And I've done this a bunch of times, and I found that it just requires some patience. You just have to sort of go around and around and around, pushing down really hard, and eventually you get it all to fit in properly. I'm getting there. Let's see. That looks like we've got it. So here we have it in the case. It's actually a nice complement to the orange, and you can see the clear polycarbonate certainly gives you an attractive back image, and the color and everything is very cool. I really, really wish the color was on the front. I'm not sure why they didn't do that. I guess maybe it's just a design element, but figure it out. That would be really cool. But this is a really nice protective case. It's obviously a little more heavy duty than this one, a little more protective. So the bezel, it's a lot more bezel. It is definitely very protective. In fact, they say that this is, wait, let me get it. This is 2x mil standard 810G for drops. So that means this is at least going to handle 10-foot drop. So most importantly, if you drop it off your table at the cafe, nothing's going to happen. So it gives you that protection on the back, of the sides have all the rubber. The front certainly has great protection on it. Really nice. Pretty substantial bezel, more so than the Speck case, but that could be something that you would like. In terms of the cutouts, again, they really just got it perfect here. And on the bottom, it's interesting, you actually lose your speakers, but I guess maybe for people that somehow they're just going to turn the volume up and not worry about it. So again, not a great element there. They do have a couple of cutouts on the side if you want to have a little lanyard to have it around your wrist if you are either prone to dropping it or if you're in an environment where it is very dangerous. In terms of the squeeze, let's see what happens. Okay, I can get to it. It's a little bit harder to actually trigger that because it's a little bit tougher case. Probably not a huge big deal. And so then the fourth thing to look at is wireless charging. So let's see what happens when we put it on the stand. And it charges wirelessly just fine. So two very different options. This is the Schnail Saviour, and this is the Speck Presidio Pro. And I like both of them for different reasons. But before we get to the price, let me ask if you can subscribe to my channel. Really appreciate it. And as hopefully you can tell, I am really candid and honest. I don't care if vendors send me stuff or not. I'm going to just give you the straight scoop because that's how I roll. So subscribe. Cool. Now, let's do prices. So this is the Speck Presidio Pro, disappointingly only in black, but it's a solid case. It's nice and slim, easy to work with. Is the antimicrobial important? Probably not, but you know, it's something to think about. It is $39.95 at Amazon.com. Number two is the Schnail Saviour, and this comes in iridescent and gray, or all black, or this one is red and black. Now, with red and black, I kind of wish I didn't have an orange phone, because I think this would be much more startling and much more attractive if I had like a black phone back here. So, you know, look at the color of your phone versus the color of the case. They do have some options. And it is actually priced a little confusingly because some color combinations are $24.98 and others are $19.98 at Amazon.com. So if you want to just have the least expensive, pick one based on price. It's a very solid case, and at $19.98, this is a really excellent, highly protective case. It does have some limitations, not the least of which is you lose your speakers on the bottom, but if you can live with all of that and you really just want to have something that keeps your Pixel 4 XL in great shape forever, this is a solid option. If I had to choose between the two, I have to say I'm going to stick with the Speck because I actually like one that's a little bit thinner, a little bit smoother, and this one just is a little bit more bulky than the Speck, but both of these are solid options. And with that, I'm going to get my phone back on the charging stand, and that means I'll catch you, I hope, in my next video.